Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming home. If you are new here, please do subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll be alerted each time that I upload a video. So this is video number 4 of 21. If you remember, I promised to give 21 videos for 2021, and this is our 4th insert. If you have been watching my videos in the past year or so, you will know I like to use personal examples to mostly mistakes that I make, and I make a lot, hey? And I like to laugh at myself. I love to share my stories, and I hope that my story will help someone, even if it is only one person. But today is a little bit different. I actually have been dreading doing this topic. I've had it on my list of topics that I keep, but I have not had, I think, the inspiration to finally sit down to write out the topic, to shoot the topic. But today I woke up and yeah, very weird. I was finally ready. It took me about a year to get here, but I was finally ready. Today is actually my father's birthday, which I think is the reason why I finally felt ready to tell the story. Today's topic is about dread, disease and disability cover. So most of us will be familiar with insurance. There's an insurance for everything: car insurance, home insurance, travel insurance, business liability, pet insurance. So there is every type of insurance to protect you in the event that something happens and protects you against loss. And then there's also protecting your assets. For most of us who are working or you run a business, your biggest asset is probably your ability to generate income. What happens then when there's an interruption in that? You get sick or something happens that impacts your ability to work. So I think when we are working and we're having a salary, you think you're on top of things, the money is coming in, it's rolling in, I can do another project, I can do this, I can do that. But what happens the moment that you don't have that income coming in? So the reason why I have been dreading this topic is because for a change, I wouldn't be telling my own story. And for a change, it wouldn't be something that I can look back on and laugh and all of that. So today I'm telling my father's story. That was why I struggled for a few months to think, should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? But finally today decided that to take the plunge, and I hope one person takes something from this. My father was in a terrible car accident. I think the year was 1998, so I was still very young. Very, very bad accident where he ended up losing his ability to walk normally, I guess you would put it that way. When he came home in a wheelchair, and I think he stayed in a wheelchair for quite some time. As time went on with physiotherapy and whatever else, he was able then to walk on crutches. But basically his kneecap was damaged. So if you think of a knee and how your knee is able to fold and bend, my father's leg never was able to do that after the accident. But luckily, you know, he was able to use crutches and up until, so that helped at least, but he was never able to walk on his own again. So about 12 years later, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and he lived with that for the remainder of his life. Obviously with treatment, you go into remission, it returns, and the like. A few years ago, when I now was working, 2 of my bosses became ill in the same year. So one of my bosses had a heart attack and my other boss had cancer, and it all kind of happened in the same year. A while later, we were speaking very casually, and you know, one of them mentioned and spoke to me about rare disease and disability cover and how they had gotten a payout. I think most people, when we are approached with insurance, we think it's a bit of a scam, because insurance is one of those purchases, it's a grudge purchase. So you purchase it thinking nothing will ever happen, and then you're actually shocked when something happens and they pay out. So what is rare disease and disability cover? It basically pays you out a lump sum in the event that you become ill with a severe illness. And after my boss spoke to me all those years ago, you know, I hadn't known when I was younger, you know, that these things exist. I didn't know when I started working. I didn't know, watching my father's life, you know, and all the things that change as a result of illness, that this thing exists. So I took that, after that conversation, I went and I spoke to, I found an independent financial advisor who walked me through different companies' products, and eventually we settled on something. So I actually reviewed my cover this morning preparing for this conversation, but it covers multiple things. It covers cancers, it covers heart attack. The disability one covers loss of a limb. So let's say, for example, if you had something amputated. So the list really is very exhaustive of what they do cover. And the point of that is to help you while you are suffering with a severe illness to adjust your lifestyle, your home. Thinking about a generic example, someone who suffers a heart attack, maybe you think you want to work till you're 60 or 65, but once you have that kind of life-changing illness, do you really still want to push that extra decade or whatever it is? So you might find that your years or ability to earn income then are cut down from what you thought. Using my father's example, because of the fact that he couldn't walk on his own anymore, he really struggled with using stairs or steps. So that's something that I can think about, where you need to then modify your home to accommodate for you know, this disability. And something else was, after the accident, he never drove a manual car ever again. So I think manual cars were still a thing in 1998. I think probably most people drove manual cars. I think my impression was you were rich if you drove an automatic car. And unfortunately, then my father had to drive automatic cars from that day onwards. And that is an expense that he didn't plan for, and who pays for all that? So this cover really will protect you the day that something happens that affects your ability to earn an income. The challenge for today, what I would like every one of you to do, if you are working, I would like you to contact an independent financial advisor and speak to them about dread and disability cover. I hope that even one person listening to this story today reflects and takes the time to go and question or implement something in their life that will protect themselves and protect their family. Unfortunately, my father lost his battle with illness 2 years ago, so August of 2019. So I just thought about, you know, if I had this channel a while back, could I have had that conversation with him? Could I have invited him to talk to you guys about this? But I'm grateful that I finally had the courage to sit down and have the chat with you, even though it is slightly difficult, and I hope that this helps someone watching. Then the last thing that I just wanted to say to everyone watching is, no one is promised a long life. So you cherish every single moment that you have, and I plead with you guys to honor your parents, so to honor your mother and father. Spend time with your loved ones while you can. And I really appreciate you guys watching, and I appreciate your time, and I hope that this will help someone, anyone watching. I know that now I am protected by watching other people go through this, and I hope that anyone watching this will do this for themselves and their families. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.